Hello everyone, welcome to another Making Monday Lovable video. And today's video, I wanted to call it Being of Service to the World with Art. Quite a big statement or big title. But I really feel that it is like this, and it is super important. So for me as a scientific illustrator and being educated to become a scientist, having done my PhD and so on and so forth, and then starting my company, becoming a scientific illustrator, what I basically do, I serve scientists with art. To me, scientists serve the world by discovering certain natural phenomena, by investigating things and then sharing knowledge. All of this is to me a service to the world, to humanity, to anything, to the plant sciences if you're a plant scientist, or to the medical field if you're a medical doctor working in the lab. So that's being of service. And for me, being a scientific illustrator and then visualizing and properly communicating what they do in a way that as many people as possible understand this, it is being of service as well for those scientists and the science and the research that they're doing, but also then by extension to the world and to the rest of the people and humanity that wants to understand. So it's kind of, it's like a chain. And what I use for this is the tool. Of course, I know the science, I have my scientific knowledge, but the actual tool is art. So visualizing, drawing, illustrating, painting. And it is so important to point out that it's such a tight connection between science and art in that case, because without the art, it wouldn't be possible for me to serve the world, and to share the knowledge that other scientists are doing. So art is often seen as something like, just for fun, or like, it's pretty beautiful. And I, at least, know from how I grew up, it was always be like, nice to have, but you don't need to. Something like this. But in that case, it is really, really important to have art as a tool to be able to serve the world of science. And I am super glad and happy that people start realizing how important it is and start combining these two tool sets, being a scientist and an artist. It's still not so many people that are scientific illustrators with the type of background that I have. Sometimes you have studios where there's only scientists and only artists and they collaborate together, which is great, I think, because it's not necessarily that we all have all the skills in one person. At the same time, I have no official formal arts degree or education whatsoever, and still I manage very well to serve the world and people and scientists with applying art to science and sharing the knowledge. So that's something that I really love, and I have actually never imagined to be here where I am right now, because even though I loved books and in school I loved biology and everything, I saw the illustrations, but never crossed my mind that there's actually somebody that needs to draw these things. And back in the days, I saw the doctoral thesis of my supervisor, Doktorvater in German. They would have to draw everything themselves, all the graphs and like everything, and that was like so much and physical, not digital. So art was kind of always there. And back in the days, if we look at, people like Da Vinci or Ernst Haeckel, who would do all these amazing drawings of diatoms and plants and everything, it was always like art was at the center to understand the science, to understand, therefore, the whole world. And I feel that, like, we're kind of getting back to this, realizing the importance of the involvement of art in science, and that it's not so far away from each other. It is super closely intertwined, and it has to be. And then if we spin it further, art itself, because this week's gonna be my abstract art week, it is generally such an important and critical tool for society, for people, for culture. People purchase and get art because it makes them feel something. They want to feel a certain positive feeling, a certain uplifting, lightness inside of them. When they look at a painting, they want to have it in their apartment because something gets kind of induced inside of them. And now I also feel that the times are changing in this classical art world, because people want to buy more and more original art. They don't want to have something that's printed off like the shelf in IKEA and everybody has it. People want to have something individual, something that fits to them, that sparks whatever it is they want to have spark inside of them, because that's the power of art. It will be able to create positive feelings, but also critical feelings. It will be able to, cause all kinds of things and thoughts, and art is able to spark kind of anything we want in another person. And I think this is so beautiful, because in the end, if we look at, serving the world and people and society and humanity, what is the world and all of this composed of? It's composed of separate people, every single individual. And we all kind of are in this whole thing together. And if we are able to be, influence one way or another through art to be or feel a certain way, this is how then also society will change, or our nearest surroundings. You will have people coming to your place and feeling just, super nice, because there is you have artworks everywhere, and your place just spreads this calm, let's say, in the stressful and hectic world. And that's such a big difference. And you can create that space not only with yourself and your energy, but also with whatever you have in your place. And art is the ultimate tool to kind of, convey certain feelings and bring certain things out of people or into them. And the same counts for scientific illustrations, because even if, it's about science, if a scientific concept is beautifully represented, guess what it causes in people? It causes positive feelings. It causes curiosity. It's subconscious, but it brings a type of beautiful, and happy feeling, oh my God, this is amazing. I understand the science, makes it easier. Or I kind of feel this interest and this, good feeling about it. And that's, even though it's science, it could be super complex science, but because we use art as a tool, and art has the capacity to cause all of these things in people, it is transferred to science as well. So then people, instead of maybe saying, science is so boring and so black and white and so gray and so complicated, I don't understand it, they will be like, oh my God, this is amazing. So then they will open up their, view and their everything, and change as well inside. Just like a piece of artwork hanging on the wall has the capacity to change anybody looking at it, a piece of scientific illustration that's beautifully executed has the same capacity, plus on a scientific level as well. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you today. How, basically science and art can change the world and to serve the world. And I'd love to hear what you think about all of this. Other than that, I wish you a nice Monday and a great week ahead, and talk to you next week. Bye bye.